Hi everyone and welcome back to Shane's Minis. Right, so on today's video I want to show you how I'm going to create some roads for the tanks board I've been working on. So I was looking around one of my local pound shops the other day and I came across these easy tiles. Okay, so they're quite flexible and I thought there's going to be some use for them surely in crafting. So I had a cheeky look while I was there in one of them, and that's what they are. Sort of a vinyl material, and the thing that interested me most is that they're self-adhesive, and it says they're easy cut as well, so I thought I'm going to try and use these to make some roads. So in this video I'll show you exactly what I did and the kind of results that you can get from materials like this. So let's get started. So, for this part of the video, what you're going to need is some embossed wallpaper. This was a sample from B&Q. I'm going to use this one as like a cobblestone road. And I also have this one, which I'm going to see how that works out as a dirt track. So you need a few scraps of this. You'll need your easy tile from the pound shop. And also a pair of scissors and maybe a craft knife. So the first thing I've done is cut out a strip of the embossed wallpaper to whatever width you like. I've done this one for tanks, so it works out, so two 50mm scale tanks can just about fit travelling in opposite directions on the road. So the next thing I'm going to do is cut out some of the easy tile. Now I'm going to leave probably about ½ centimetre either side of the road, and in that way we can put some flock and some decoration on afterwards just to make it look a bit more natural and to help it blend in with the board. So they cut really easily, so all you need is a pair of scissors. So I'll start back here and leave in a couple of millimetres. Just cut through. It's probably a little bit too wide on this side, but I think I'll just leave it anyway. So, peel off the backing. And then simply stick your wallpaper onto the board. And that is the first stage of getting our road. As you can see, it sits quite flat, so it'll be fine for gaming use. It's very light, quite flexible, so if you have any texture on the board it should just flex around it to be more natural. So I'll get on and make a few of these and then I'll show you where we're at. So here we have some of the road sections attached to the tiles. So we've got curved sections like this, a straight section of road, and then this one which is going to eventually become a dirt road. So the next stage is to put some paint on these. So as the edges are self-adhesive, I'm going to try and avoid getting any paint on them and literally just paint over the cobbled effect. So for this I have just some grey paint. I think this is garden paint that I picked up from the local DIY store. So I'm just going to start putting a bit of paint on here now, and I'll see you in a little while. So here's the roads with their first coat of grey the next thing we'll need to do once it's dry is a dry brush of a lighter grey. So once these are dry, I'll get that done and then we'll see what they look like. So the next stage in completing our roads is to give them a dry brush with a lighter shade of grey. So all we need to do is get a bit of paint on the brush, wipe most of it off on a piece of tissue, and then just drag it lightly across the surface of your road. As you can see, that light dry brush has just added a little more definition to the road. So the next step in completing our roads is to add a bit of weathering, and for this I'm going to use Army Painter's Strong Tone Wash just to represent any mud that might have built up on the road over time. So I'm going to do small patches of this across the road and just keep them a little bit random. So as you can see, that's starting to represent any mud and grime building up between the cobblestones. I'll get on and carry on with the rest of the sections. So there are the cobblestone roads with a bit of weathering on them. I'm going to leave them to dry now, and I'll show you how to do the dirt track road. So the technique for the dirt road is very similar to how we did the cobblestone road. I'll start with a base of burnt umber across the whole of the middle section here, wait for that to dry, and then a light dry brush over the top with a lighter shade of brown. So the next stage for the dirt road is to give it a light dry brush with a lighter brown paint. So as you can see, this is starting to bring out the texture on the road nicely. I'll just carry on and finish this off, and then we'll get on with the final stages in completing our roads. So this is the dirt road after its dry brush, and all that's left now is to apply some finishing touches. So it's at this stage that the self-adhesive nature of the tiles really comes into play, because all we're going to do now is sprinkle some flock along the edges. Use the same sort of flock that you've done for the majority of your board, just so it blends in a bit better. So all we have to do, pick up a bit of flock, start pushing it on, tap the excess off, and as you can see, it sticks to the boards really well, and then it just makes flocking just that little bit easier. So that's the dirt road with the flock attached, and it's exactly the same process for any of your sections of cobblestone road. So for some final touches, I'm going to stick some of these self-adhesive flower tufts on, as well as glue a bit of this dark green scrub on, just using a bit of PVA glue. So with the tufts, it's really easy. Peel them off the backing paper and then just press them into place. And for the scrub, you just need a dab of PVA, take some scrub out of your packet, and again just squeeze it into place. So here are the roads all finished and ready to go. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll hope you join me next time on Shane's Minis.